Today's long 53-foot trailers and soaring fuel prices have created a demand for a new design of Class 8 trucks. This new trend, this new design for Class 8 trucks dictates a shorter wheelbase for better maneuverability and a more aerodynamic shape for the cab and bunk. But there are design flaws with this new design. Today, we'll talk about what those two design flaws are. Great Lakes Cold Logistics is now an employee-owned company. That's huge. That means drivers with Great Lakes will now share in company profits on top of their mileage rates. And those mileage rates for experienced drivers are up to 70 cents a mile. This company is going places. Check them out at drivegreatlakes.com. So let's review what Wheelbase is. On the new design short wheelbase trucks, wheelbase is measured from the center of the forward axle to the center between the drives, and that is your wheelbase. Shorter wheelbase dictates shorter frame rail on the truck, but there is an awful lot of weight that now has to fit into this very short piece of frame rail. There's an engine, 3,000 pounds. There's a transmission, about 850 pounds. There's a DEF tank, about 250 pounds. There's fuel tanks, about 2,000 pounds. There's probably an APU for another 500 pounds. There's the cab and the hood for another 10,000 pounds. And that's all before you get the driver and his stuff in the truck. And what that results in is just a whole lot of weight concentrated in a very small area. And sometimes it can be so concentrated because the engine and the transmission are literally sitting over the steering axle. By the time you put the batteries and everything else in here, it means that the truck can be literally overweight on the steering axle while it's sitting there bobtail. And that's a problem because then you've got no weight distribution in this length of frame rail. The problem with all this weight concentrated in this shortest section of frame rail dictates that there will be very little ability for weight transfer on the truck when it comes to the trailer. And that leads us to our next problem, which is swing dip clearance, which is the problem of distance between the tractor and the trailer. And I'll demonstrate that problem. Because of the sheer size of a tractor trailer, it needs to be maneuverable in tight spaces because it's going to find itself in some tight spaces. What that means for an ordinary truck and trailer is the truck has got to be able to be 90 degrees from the trailer angle so the trailer can literally pivot and spin on its rear axles. The problem with the new design short wheelbase tractors is that they can't fully get that 90-degree angle to the trailer because the tractor gets into the trailer, can't get as tight an angle to turn, and you get damage on the tractor and the trailer, and that's why you see these new snub-nose conventionals with crunched bunk extenders. So the second problem is swing dip clearance, which is the distance here between the truck and the trailer. We've already got a whole lot of weight condensed in this small area because of the short wheelbase. So there's very little we can do to adjust the weight here because of the short clearance involved. Not only that, remember that for certain states, like in California, the rear trailer axles are set at a 41-foot pin setting. So you can't slide the trailer axles to adjust the weight on the trailer at the back, and you can't slide the fifth wheel here up by the tractor to adjust the weight because you just don't have that room because of the short wheelbase. Add a reefer trailer into this picture and you've got even less room. So the end result is you end up with a truck and trailer that cannot scale, axle scale, a load. It can handle the gross weight, but you cannot adjust and move any of the axles or the fifth wheel because the whole thing's just tightened down and you can't axle scale a heavier load with this truck and trailer combination. So a longer wheelbase makes for a more versatile truck and a truck that's easier to scale. So remember, size does matter. Longer is better. it's amazing to me that when most guys shop for a truck, they look at the color, and that's the most important thing. There's a whole lot more to buying a truck than just the color, and Wheelbase is a very important aspect of that. Just a quick story about Wheelbase. I was up in Wayne, Nebraska one time. I bobtailed up there to pick up a brand new trailer, a brand new Great Dane at their factory in Wayne. And I was up there picking my trailer up, and a mega carrier truck showed up, and he was to pick up a trailer that Dane had built for one of the mega carriers. And it was one of these new style drop nose conventionals with a setback axle, short wheelbase truck. This was a reefer trailer he was picking up. They pointed out which trailer was his, which one he was to pick up. He spun around, positioned himself, backed up to the trailer, hit the pin, and the pin setting was so deep on this reefer, 36 inches, standard pin setting, but the truck was so short that he ended up bouncing the back of the bunk off the reefer trailer of this brand new trailer. So it looked like a fairly new truck. It was definitely a brand new trailer and brand new reefer unit. Hadn't pulled a mile yet, hadn't gone a yard. And they already had thousands of dollars of damage just because they hadn't looked at the proper configuration on how to set that truck up. Stay safe, keep the rubber side down, pay attention to the details, like Wheelbase when buying a truck. We'll see you on the backhaul. That means for an ordinary truck and trailer is the truck has got to be able to be 90 degrees from the trailer angle. So the truck has got to be able to be 90 degrees from the trailer angle. So the trailer can literally